Apparently, Pennywise, some people wanted me to talk about Dr. Giggles. So let's do that. This is going to be another easy one. So the only two comics I could find to feature Dr. Giggles was Dr. Giggles numbers 1 and 2 from Dark Horse Comics in October of 1992. This series was a direct adaptation of the film. However, there were a couple of changes that made a little bit of a difference as far as the story goes. In the first issue, Dr. Giggles breaks out of a mental asylum, killing anyone in his way. Elsewhere, 19-year-old Jennifer and her boyfriend Max are planning a summer break. However, Jennifer deals with a heart condition that forces her to wear a heart monitor. Later on, some kids are scouting a barn for a party, and they tell Dr. Giggles' backstory for the audience's benefit. Not long after the story is told, Dr. Giggles actually attacks, and an old woman hears the commotion and goes to check, but sees Dr. Giggles' eye looking back through the keyhole. Later, after the old lady has already called the cops, Dr. Giggles attacks her as well. As the kids do their thing and prepare for their party, Dr. Giggles attacks more and more people in town, cutting a swath of terror directly through it. Later on, Jennifer gets frustrated about her heart monitor and ends up throwing it into a fish tank. At the beginning of issue number 2, Dr. Giggles kills even more people, including Jennifer's stepmother, with flesh-eating makeup of some kind. Jennifer goes to find Max, but he's with another girl, so Jennifer takes off. As Max chases her into a house of mirrors, Dr. Giggles drugs him and eventually kills him right in front of Jennifer. This is the big difference from the film, because in the film, Max actually survives this, and it's the girl that he was caught making out with that ends up dying instead. After that, Dr. Giggles goes to Jennifer's house and attacks her dad, leaving him bleeding out until a cop shows up. But then Dr. Giggles stabs him in an artery, but not before getting shot himself. Dr. Giggle ends up doing self-surgery to extract the bullet and try and sew up the damage, and then he goes and kidnaps Jennifer. The dead cop's partner finds Jennifer's dad bleeding out, then goes to Dr. Giggles' old office and finds all of the bodies of everyone Dr. Giggles has killed since escaping the mental asylum. He tracks down where Dr. Giggles has Jennifer and tries to save her by getting Dr. Giggles to chase him, which he does. Jennifer escapes just before a fire and the commotion blows up the entire house. At the hospital recovering, Jennifer is once again attacked by Dr. Giggles, now half burned. After a fight, Jennifer stabs and electrocutes Dr. Giggles. After the fight, Jennifer finds her dad alive in another hospital room, and her heart condition appears to be cured from whatever Dr. Giggles did to her. So that's it. That's all the comics associated with the Dr. Giggles franchise. Nothing terribly new, but still a fun read, and definitely a lot gorier than the movie ended up being. So if you're interested in that, pick up the issues. Stay tuned for more horror icons and comics coming soon.